what's up, guys? My name is Andrew, and this is Vince from AnVi Investments, and then we're chatting here with a couple of our investors who have helped us to grow and has also helped their own portfolio to grow exponentially. So, just wanted to kind of catch up with them, say hi, chat with them, and talk about their experience. Vince, do you want to comment on anything?
Yeah, sure. This also happens to be my sister and brother-in-law.
Sister, yeah.
So shout out to friends and family money. So that should be your number one to go if you're starting a real estate career. And if you can't convince your own sister or mom to invest, you don't have anything going on. So
Yeah,
you need to start there.
totally. So, if you would tell us about your guys' experience, what it's been like, what your, how consistent returns are, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I think we've invested a couple of properties with AnVi, and I mean, just as a background, I've known Vincent for 18 years through my wife, and I guess investing with the family background is a little bit easy for us. I guess the trust factor comes with it, right? So
Yeah.
I think the first step was easy, right? You have this trust based on family,
Yeah.
on us.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean the investing part of it was fairly easy, right? So most of the work is done by you guys, and we just pitch in as the financial part of it. We've got two properties invested right now. I think there's a few more in the pipeline. And then in terms of return, yeah, it's fairly. I mean, if I go back and look at my accounts, like it's pretty much on the dot, right? Every month, I can see the payment automatically in my bank account. So yeah, it's been easy and great, and we've also been trying to build up our portfolio in different places.
Great.
Good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Sure. My experience with this is that since Vince is my brother and I learn a lot from him, I talk to him almost every day. So I thought it's going to be, an easy process for me if I ventured out on my own and if I started investing on my own, because I have him to guide me through everything. And then he recommended a lot of books and everything. And I did try that. And I know you guys have a YouTube video encouraging people to do that and everything. And everything was fine. But there's a lot that goes into it when you do it on your own. So I had to hire a property management. That didn't work for me. So then I had to hire another property management and I lost some money with that. And then managing the tenants and back and forth and all this. I'm a mom of two and I homeschool them and I have a lot going on in my life. And it was just too difficult for me and too frustrating. And I was losing some night's sleep over it.
Yeah.
So that's when it hit me that how easy it was when I invested with AnVi Investments, and the money was there in our bank account every month, and I didn't have to worry about it or talk to the tenants or to the property management company or anything like that. So that is my experience with this so far.
Awesome. Yeah, and although we encourage people to invest in real estate, it's literally the best investment choice you can make for so many reasons. That has to be another whole different conversation. At the same time, like we learned as well. We learned a lot on our first property, especially. All the books tell you you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You did it, even though you had some of our guidance. It is what it is, and it's not easy. And the fact that Vince and I have been so lucky to have you guys invest, and then also try investing on your own, is nice because you can kind of see the dichotomy of like, oh, okay, this is really nice and easy. It's guaranteed, and then if I want to do it myself, I can definitely do so, but it's a whole different thing. It's a business. You're an entrepreneur at that point, which is exciting for me. I love it. I wake up every day. I put in 12-hour days. I love it. That's like kind of my thing right now. I've got the energy. I don't have two little kids I have to look after, so I have the time. Vince has the time, and also the skill sets and the knowledge after learning, just how the game is really played. There's a lot that the books leave out for sure, and I'm sure you just discovered that recently. So it's unfortunate that you went through that, but it's also kind of, it makes us feel better because we got hit pretty hard on the first one, And
Yeah.
yeah, and then after recovering from that and learning and then getting the systems and the teams in place, it's been amazing for us now. And now that's why I want to have this conversation, because we have all these deals coming at us well below market, all these like just like grand slam deals. It's just like it's easy. Problem is we just don't have, we're not sitting on a ton of capital, or else we would just do it ourselves. We'd be buying all kinds of deals, you know. Part of the reason why I work so hard is to have that capital, but it takes a while. So yeah, I'm glad it's been win-win, and that's kind of the whole idea. That's why I get so excited about real estate. Is it's just win-win for everybody. Even my stepdad is a handyman, and he gets a little piece of that income because he's doing a lot of repair work while we're investing. So Vince, do you have any comments, brother?
Yeah, so I mean, it's real estate is pretty much, you want to help all the people be it friends or family. And like my sister and my brother-in-law was saying, you definitely, if you do it right, you have the potential to make more money if you do it yourself. And I definitely do recommend everybody try it.
Yeah.
But, with it comes a lot of risk too. You could lose the house, you might end up paying a lot of repairs and all that stuff, but I still do recommend people at least try to do it. But
Yeah.
if you don't have the money, if you don't have the time to do it, if you're a high income individual, having money in your bank account is a big mistake right now. They're printing so much money, money is being devalued. At this point, you want to leverage it with products that actually support and help you with inflation. So if you buy something now, like a piece of real estate, piece of land, which produces income, you're going to leverage your money, so it helps the bet against inflation. So that's really good. Like even my sister invests. They do about like 20K per property we buy. They have maybe 42 invested, maybe a few in the next deals. You know, if there's two types of investment. If well, for the listeners, it's you can either do a debt-based investment, which usually pays you out more. You could get 8 to 12% on a return, and not any equity, so you don't stand to gain any tax benefits, right? So if you do an equity-based partnership with us, like that's what Jula and Reshmi, my sister, they've done, is you actually get a percent of the property we own, which means that you own part of the property, plus you get a share of the profits too. So that's like the best of both worlds kind of deal. But the return will be a little bit lower. But even then, 6 to 8% or 9% is still pretty good,
Really.
plus the equity too.
And then, so with that equity, and just again, this is for the listeners, because they're equity partners, there's something called paper loss, which is like the true magic on the back end, where you're going to save a lot of money on your tax bill.
Mm-hmm.
You want to explain to them about that?
Yeah, so exactly. So um, the paper laws, how they work is if you have a regular job and if you make your AGI, which is aggregate gross income, is less than $100,000, you could deduct up to $25,000 of business losses or real estate losses onto your regular income. So, for Jula, he has kids and he has standard deductions he can use. So he can drop his income below 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
AGI. So now with enough properties this year, he should be able to deduct close to $20,000, which is on top of the money he's already getting from the money he's invested. And on top of that, his equity is based on time of purchase, which means if the property goes from 100 to 140, he gets the share of 140. It's not just fixated at 100 too.
Yeah.
So everybody wins in this kind of deal.
Yeah. As long as the property keeps going up in value, absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of level of wins when you invest in real estate, either with us or on your own. It's just like, I remember the first time I don't know what it was, after reading a book or maybe listening to a podcast or something. I remember when it finally dawned on me just how amazing it is. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Why, like, when I first moved to California, anyone that I met who was just kicking a lot of butt financially was investing in real estate. Every single one of them, and it all kind of made sense to me in that moment. And I was like, okay, well, we're doing the right thing right now, and it's awesome to see everyone benefiting from it. That's like my favorite part of the whole thing. When I read
Yeah.
Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. I think that's the book that it's in, where he talks about.
Yeah, Stephen Covey, right?
Yeah, Stephen Covey. Yeah,
Yeah,
he talks
yeah.
about a win-win is the best way to
So
work.
white book with blue font, I think.
Yeah, I think mine was like purple actually, or
Oh,
maybe it's
was
just
it?
like an old book. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a lot of reissues. It's such a
yeah.
classic. But yeah, I really was blown away by when he talked about win-wins and how that's the ultimate scenario, and then connecting it with what we're doing, and just awesome. I have nothing else to say. That it's just like that's the best feeling in the world. I sleep like a baby because as we grow, as we stand to gain financially, so do our investors, you guys. Which it's just extra awesome because you're family.
Yeah.
It's like we're rooting for you guys. We're rooting for anyone that is looking to get into it. I in fact am helping a couple people just for free because I want them to get involved and just like read this. I'm usually telling everyone to read first.
Mm-hmm.
Read first, seek mentors. That's how you grow.
Educate yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you really have a successful business and how you're going to save thousands of dollars and hours on headache and heartache. It's the more you're educated. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for chatting with us, and thanks for investing with us and trusting us. And I'm really glad you guys have seen the benefits and the returns. And have you filed your taxes since the last one?
Not yet. I'm actually looking forward to filing
Oh,
my
man.
taxes this year.
Let's do a
So I'm
follow-up call.
looking out for some gains. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll have to do a follow-up call for sure.
The next year is going to be really good because he's going to have his name in a bunch of properties with AnVi too.
Nice.
Because we've kind of like held off on that. Well, another thing Jula brought up, I wanted to talk about is very important, very key is most people forget is the trust factor, right?
Yeah.
So usually people really don't care whatever you're offering if they don't trust you. So if I told him like, I'll give you 50%, nobody really cares unless they trust you. So what is important is people invest in people. It's not really the products they sell. So if you're a trustworthy person, people will invest in it more. So that's a key point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I think that there is a fine balance, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's basically time is a factor, right? So I'm on a full-time job, and when I'm trying to manage these risk and assess this risk, you have to put up a lot of time. And if you have time, you can do that. But then when you don't have time, you have to trust someone else to assess that risk and see if it's a good investment option.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, so thanks for putting your trust in us, you guys, and I'm glad it's worked out so far. Yeah, even through the COVID, even through all this.
Yeah.
Which has been nice. So, and that's just part of what's why I'm so excited about it now, and why I'm so eager to like let's make some moves now. Is because we have such a good team in place. Our property management is just the rock stars. I've had my doubts because we had a bad experience with the first one, but man, every time I've had my doubts, they've proved me wrong. They're killing it. So like, yeah, it's nice
Even
to
for
not
us,
worry about that. What's that, Vince?
Even for us, we lost 2 property managers. Like my sister said, she lost one.
Yeah.
2 property managers quit on us. That's the whole another video. So we should do that separately.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we learned a lot, and I'm glad we stuck with it, man. It's going good now. So awesome. Any other comments? Anyone?
No, we are happy with all the investments.
Yeah, we wish you all the best.
Yeah.
And I know this has been a learning process for you guys as well, and going through a lot. But as we diversify in our portfolio, we wish you also the best, right? As you,
Thanks.
not just investing in one location, but other places
Yeah.
and growing your business, right? With that, a lot of people are going to gain by that.
Yeah, definitely. Man. Well, thank you so much, you guys.